Today we're talking about the silent fluency killers. If you feel like you've been stuck at the B1 or even B2 level for years, what I call the intermediate plateau, it's probably not because you lack talent, but because of these 6 habits, or fluency killers, as I call them. Look, I didn't learn English in the US or London. I learned it in my home country, Brazil. And I remember being so frustrated because I couldn't express my personality in English. I felt trapped in a limited version of myself. I even remember a time when I would write the word please as P-L-I-S. So if I can go from that to a C2 level without leaving my home country to study English, you can too. Today, I'm going to show you how to break those chains. So let's get into it. Killer number 1, the translation trap. The first killer is translating in your head. I see this with my students all the time. You hear a sentence, you translate it to your native language, you think of an answer in your native language, and then you translate it back to English. By the time you finally speak, the conversation has moved on. I used to treat English like a math equation. I thought if I just knew the formula, I could translate perfectly. But English is full of idioms and phrasal verbs and expressions that don't directly have a one-on-one match in terms of translation. So you have to get rid of your security blanket. Stop using bilingual dictionaries. When I finally switched to an English-to-English dictionary, my brain finally stopped translating before saying something in English. You need that direct connection. Killer number 2, passive consumption. I hear this every day. Thiago, I watch movies and TV series every night. Why can't I speak English? Well, it's because you are being a spectator, not a player of the game. Watching a movie passively is like watching someone go to the gym. You see the muscles moving, but your muscles aren't getting any stronger. I reach fluency by using what I call active extraction. If my purpose was to study, I wouldn't watch a whole movie. I would only select a 5-minute clip from 2.5 Men, for example, or Rocky, and learn from it. So don't just watch, mimic. If an actor said a line with a specific intonation, pause the video and say it exactly like him 10, 20 times. You need to parrot native speakers in order to build that muscle memory in our jaw and in our muscles of articulation. Most intermediate English learners are stuck in a cycle of watching random videos, but never actually reaching B2 fluency. And I know how frustrating that plateau feels because I had to break through it myself. Come to think of it, that's why I use my 20 years of experience to build the B2 Edge app, a structured 77-lesson blueprint that serious students are already using to transform their English. When you join the app, you get a clear path, an AI speaking coach, and real feedback on your writing. This is not an app for everyone. It's for motivated learners ready to work. So, click the link below to get 20% off for Android and iOS before this holiday deal that I'm running expires on January 2nd. Killer number 3, perfectionism paralysis. This is a big one. You are afraid of looking silly. You want to sound as sophisticated in English as you do in your native language. And when you can't, you just stop. When I was learning, I didn't have many opportunities to practice my English speaking. So what did I do? I used to go to the local Starbucks and literally hunt for tourists. If I heard someone speak in English, I would jump in and say something like, "Excuse me, you're not from here, are you?" And then I would start a conversation with that person. Was I nervous doing that? Absolutely. But I realized that the best things in life are always outside your comfort zone. Plus, people don't care if you miss a preposition here and there. They care if they can understand you. Fluency killer number 4, sticker collecting. Many of you are what I call vocabulary collectors. You have notebooks filled with words, hundreds of flashcards in your English learning app. But when you have to speak English with someone, you always use good, bad, happy, those words. Fluency isn't about how many words you have in your head. It's about how many words you can get out of your mouth in the moment you need them. It's about activation. You can try the 1-minute sprint. You can take one fancy advanced word you learned today, for example, maybe the word thorough, let's say, and try to talk about a random topic using that word as many times as possible in just 1 minute. If you don't force the word out of your mouth, it stays dead in your notebook, in your app, in your spreadsheet. Fluency killer number 5, the sprint mentality. English isn't a 100-meter sprint. It's a marathon. I see students study for 8 hours on Sunday and then touch nothing until the next Sunday. Your brain forgets what it doesn't see daily. Even when I was super busy, I always practiced with micro sessions. I used to read out loud for just 10 minutes every morning. Why out loud? Because it syncs your mental voice, which is usually very advanced, with your physical voice, which might still be struggling. You need to hear yourself being successful in English speaking every single day in order to build that identity of a fluent speaker. And finally, fluency killer number 6, shyness and isolation. You think you need a teacher or a trip to New York to practice speaking, but that is a myth. At the beginning of my journey, I spent 90% of the time speaking to myself. I would describe what I was cooking, and I would do the face yourself exercise, which is basically talking to yourself in the mirror. It sounds crazy, but it forces you to look at your mouth movements and builds the confidence to see an English speaker looking back at you. Nowadays, you can even try recording yourself in video format and observe how you communicate in English. If you can't explain your day to yourself in the mirror or in a video, you definitely won't be able to do it in a high-pressure job interview. So look, I wasn't born fluent in English. I just stopped letting these 6 killers run my life. Becoming fluent is a marathon, not a sprint, and it requires you to be proactive. So stop being a statistic of the 95% of people who never learn and start being the 1% who makes it happen. Now, which one of these killers are you struggling with most right now? Is it the fear of mistakes? Or are you stuck in the Netflix trap? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious to know. Make sure to take advantage of the holiday deal I'm running for my new app, the B2 Edge. This is a great app that's going to take you to a solid B2 level if you're willing to do the daily work necessary and follow the entire curriculum. Now the holiday deal is running at 20% off either the monthly subscription or the annual subscription, but this deal runs until January 2nd. So to claim your discount, link in the description of the video, also in the pinned comment below. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Merry Christmas. And if you want to keep learning, check out this video next where I go into more cool stuff about English learning and the intermediate plateau.